Who do you think you are? Scooby? Dooby? Doo!
Hey everyone, Scooby-Doo here and welcome to a brand new video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the 3D Deco Boba Fett wall light, which you can see right here. Now first, I generally don't show the packaging, but I did want to show it in this case because they do make a different version of this exact same helmet. As you can see here, there's Kylo Ren here in the front. The other one that they make, this, I believe it's the exact same helmet, but there's a picture of a stormtrooper here in the corner. And the difference is, I believe, is that one comes with a remote control. This one does not. So just in case you decide to get one of these, or if you've seen other reviews and you've seen the one with the remote control, that is for the stormtrooper box. I believe that was a UK/Canada release, because this company, 3D Deco Lighting, I think they're actually based out of Canada. They make a bunch of different wall lights. They obviously have the Star Wars line, they have the Avengers line. I actually used to have the Iron Man helmet, which looked really cool in the movie room before we switched it over to the Star Wars room. But you can see here some of the other ones that they make. I actually have two of the Death Stars, and then I also have a Millennium Falcon, which isn't on here, and they also make a really cool X-Wing as well. If you want to see the Death Star ones, go ahead and take a look at these photos. Now you notice on both of them they had paint jobs to them. Second one, obviously I modified more and made it a Death Star 2. Also, I forgot about my little mini one, so go ahead and take a look at this picture. And that one again is a modified miniature that looks like the Death Star 2. That'd be nice if they did the Death Star 3 or the Killer Base one. Maybe they will make that in the future. But let's go ahead and get this out of the box. One of my very few unboxing videos. So inside the box, you get the helmet. It's right here. It also comes with a crack sticker, which we will be actually putting this up in the Star Wars room on the Tatooine wall. So this is the crack sticker. And then I believe it also comes with, yes, it comes with instructions. And it also comes with some little mounting screws and drywall anchors as well, which come in this little bag. Now as far as this one goes, I think it's probably the best one out of the other two, which are the Stormtrooper and the Darth Vader helmet. This one looks more, I believe, more like Fett's helmet. I mean, the painting applications aren't that great, but this is really just meant to be probably in a child's room. And this is going in my room, so I'm probably just a big child, but we're going to do some painting on this. As far as the actual size goes, we'll kind of compare it to one of my Fett helmets that I'm working on. So we'll just kind of hold this up, and I'll bring in my Fett helmet so you can see the size comparison between the two. Still not a bad size, it's just kind of small. What would be nice is if they actually made a line of helmets, and we'll actually be taking another look at that one-to-one scale Fett helmet when we do our one-to-one life-size Fett build, when I ever get around to that. Hopefully sooner than later. I'm actually hoping within this month, or by the end of this month or into October, because I'd like to get it finished before Halloween. But what would be nice is if they actually made a line of these that are 1-to-1 scale for all the different helmets. Stormtrooper, Darth Vader, AT driver, TIE fighter, and they did them like half helmets, so you can hang them up on your wall. They would take up a lot less space, and they could probably make them for pretty cheap, and kind of make them about like this quality of plastic. Keep them in like the $30 to $40 range, and you could just like collect all of them. They have like all of the helmets from all the Star Wars movies. Would be really cool. So if you're one of those people that are watching my videos, you work for a toy company or something, why don't you do that? That would be pretty darn cool. Now this one here I got for, I believe, $19, and that was with shipping off of eBay, so not bad. I really actually just purchased this originally because I wanted just to work on it. I really didn't have a place for it, and then when I started doing the Mandalorian room, I decided I wanted to put that book vault in there. So this is going to actually take the place of the book vault on the Tatooine wall. Hopefully, if I do a good enough paint job on it. So I'm going to go ahead and start. I'm probably going to take this apart only because if I'm going to do some painting up in here, I don't want to get any paint on the visor. So I'm going to see if that comes apart or not. If it doesn't, I will let you know. And yeah, it just got a bunch of screws. I should be able to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and take this apart, and I'm going to start on some of the painting and see how that comes out. Alright, so I went ahead and took out the visor, as you can see. And I forgot to mention it takes 3 AA batteries. And there's a switch. You can see there's some red LEDs that'll be coming through on the visor once the visor's back on. And there's a hair. I don't know where that came from. And then the top rangefinder that moves and lights up. Let's look this up. We're going to take another look at this, obviously, when it's all done and on the wall. But I'm going to show you that lights up. Alright, get the camera back. Okay. So I went ahead and started to do a little bit of the painting. You can see right here. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over what's already there, and I'm going to put an extra layer. And I'm just using this same spray paint I've been using, aluminum, metallic. And again, don't spray in your house, but I have a cardboard piece down here that put the paint on and then put it onto the brush. I'm just going to come in here and just tap the brush. So it's going to give more of a metal look instead of looking like it was just painted silver. Let's see if I can get. Alright, let's turn off the LEDs. Maybe that'll help. Also too, on the power, it has on, off, and then it has a timer. Now the texture isn't showing up on the camera because I'm looking at it, but there is texture there. But what we want to do is go over the spots that come with the paint that's already on there, which is like right in here. And you just want to just dab your paintbrush on there. Also too, it might help to take the bristles of the brush and kind of make them a little goofy. That way you get like a random type of look to it, which you can kind of see there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go throughout the whole helmet. This isn't going to be, I'm not going to do 501st, you know, where they're at, but you can go on the edges here. Remember how we do the edging? Right there. Pretty simple. I mean, once you learn the technique of the dry painting and stuff, and just painting in general like this, projects like these will be really easy to do. Obviously our big one here is going to be our dented helmet. Again, I'm just going to come in here and tap in the paint. I don't own an airbrush gun. I do everything freehand. This is going to give it the extra texture, and then get it from these lines, because these lines obviously not going to be perfect lines. They're going to be weathered. So this is basically all we're going to do. I'm going to go around again and go over all the parts that were already came silver, and I'm going to repaint them to give some extra layers. Then we're going to paint these in the proper colors, and then we'll do some black wash. So what I'm going to do now is just go ahead and finish doing all of this, and then we'll come back and start on the black wash. And then there's also another technique that I use on these helmets that I'll show you as well. So I'm going to get back to work so I can do this properly without trying to film it at the same time. Again, really simple. Here where the paint's already on there, just kind of tap it. Give it some extra color. This one down here. And even on his little doohickey thing right here. Is that his microphone? I'm sure somebody will tell me, no, it's not his microphone. What the hell is wrong with you? Don't you know anything about Fett? I thought he was your favorite character. I don't know sometimes. I just know it's here. So this one we're going to kind of do more of a dry painting on this. We're going to get the edges. There we go. Perfect. Look how easy that was. All right. As I always say, back to work, and we'll see you in a few minutes. All right, are we having fun yet? I am. So, went ahead and I did the coloring on top of his helmet and finished with most of all the silver. I didn't want to put too much. I can always go back in and put more later. Also, too, you can see here in the rangefinder how we did some of that dry painting, got the edges so it looks worn. So now what we want to do is we're going to add our tempera paint. You knew it was coming. So I went ahead and put some in the bowl. And what we're going to do with this tempera paint is we're going to do a whole bunch of different techniques. We're going to let some of it dry. We're going to let some of it half dry. And what we want to do is we want to add more texture, bring out some of the lines. This was what's so great about this paint is it's just not going to go on like that. See, I'm going to kind of let it dry and come back and wipe some of it off, leave some of it. And I'm just going to do it randomly because I want that natural random look. I don't want anything to look like it was just painted on. I'm going to put more on here. Now again, this will be, a lot of this is going to be wiped off. Some I will let it half dry. And then of course we'll get our fingers all nice and dirty. So going back again to that one question that was asked, isn't using panel wash easier or better? I really don't think so. I mean, in some instances you might want to use that kind of stuff when you're doing the weathering. But this stuff here, I really just like getting in here and seeing what kind of textures I can get from it being partly dry and not dry. See, maybe this is going to be dirty up in here, so we'll kind of add that. And obviously around his rangefinder, definitely going to make this dirty. And you can see too on the, well, maybe you can't see. You can see how I put scratches in it. Again, that was just with the paint. Probably more detail than this particular mask needs, or not mask, this light needs. But again, you could use this for practice if you're gonna be doing a Fett helmet. You wanted to buy yourself a kit and give it a go. It's a really good practice helmet to work on. So sometimes I'm putting a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less. Even put some on his kill stripes. Put some in the corner here. All right. So then what I'll come back and do, depending, because this is all like it's not new to me, but with every project it's new. So here maybe I'm just gonna wiping it, and that's maybe too dark, so I'll come back in here, and then like where I have these little marks here, I can come back and wipe those off. Could add some water. We'll see here with this one. See, a lot of this will just come off, so I'm going to be gentle with it, and like I want to keep some of these marks and take some of them off. Smear some of them. Now some of this I might go with multiple pass-throughs. And although this might not be showing up in the camera, now it really looks more like scratches because I left some of the black in. I know it's not showing up, but you just have to trust me. Again, here, this one's completely dry. I'll take off what I want. Like this right here, if I don't want that, just take it off. I just want to blend it in. Take a little bit more off. There we go. And the most important is the dent here. You're like, ew, geez, you just covered it all up. No, I didn't, because it's gonna be wiped off where I want to wipe it off. Need a napkin. So you see really how easy this is, because I can keep coming in here and I can see I took some of it off. See how that. And this literally, you can just go in and go, okay, yeah, no, this is too dark. Let me take some more of it off. So obviously too much right here. I take this off. Maybe I just want the edges. I'd like to see you do this with panel paint. Here, we're going to get that in there. This is obviously way too dark, so we'll lighten that up. But we want some of these corners in here to stay dark. So we'll take all that off. And we'll take that off. And what we want is just a little bit around the edges. So you can see how it's starting to come out. And I'll keep going back in here and taking more of the black because there's still way too much. But you can see how it just really gets in there and makes it look so cool. And this is the coolest part, just wiping it off with your finger. Let's get that edge. And I'll just keep going with that until I like how it looks. Same with all the other spots that I did, like right here. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and finish doing all this until I get it exactly how I want it. And then we'll come back one more time with my extra little thing that I do with the helmets. And then we can wrap this one up. Alright. This baby looking cool. All right, we shall return. All right, so I got the paint just about how I want it. I went ahead and put the visor back in. Do you need to take the visor out? No, not necessarily. I don't think you do, but I just decided to do it because I didn't want to get any paint or anything on the visor. And I'm kind of messy, so I took it off. It's not that difficult once you take off these screws in the back, and you only have to take off this section here. You don't have to take off this bottom part. If you take off this top section, there is a wire that's connected to his rangefinder, so you can't take it completely off, but you can move it far enough away. And then there's some little tiny screws that are holding the visor in place. So it only took a few minutes. Wasn't that difficult to do. So we have the completed painted helmet and weathered. And now one last thing that I like to do with the Fett helmet, and that's only because I figured that he's on Tatooine a lot, and he's out in the desert, and you know, if you've ever left your car out somewhere where it's windy, after a while you get like that pasty kind of film on your car. I gotta figure that if he's out on Tatooine enough, he's gonna have some of that on his helmet. So what I do is I use some white chalk, and I'm just gonna put it on. Sometimes I can just get it on my fingers as well. Make sure I don't scratch the plastic. That's actually probably a better way to do it. Just put it on your fingers. Just get it on your fingers here. And just coat his helmet. Now this will come off with water. I just like to give like a nice little coating of it. And I'll blend it in so there's no white spots. Oh, you can't even see it, sorry. I just like putting it on the helmet. I just think it makes it look better. I'll come in here and just to give it a little bit more depth. Doesn't really add that much to it. It's just something that I like. Let me get the cameras up too. Now most of this will just wipe off anyways. I just like to get just a little coat on there. And it probably won't come up on the camera all that well, but I think it looks good. Especially if you were able to see it, right? Let me get my camera up. I'm sitting here doing this stuff and I'm not even looking at the camera to see what it's filming. I apologize. Get them a little bit coated. There we go. So I'll work on this a little bit more. All right. Now this is starting to look like a proper Fett helmet. Again, get all of his dirtiness in there. You see how I got some of the black wash in there too. So I'm not sure if that came out or not, but his helmet now is just kind of a little bit more pasty. And now I think he's just about ready for the wall. I definitely think it looks better than it did out of the box. It looks definitely like a weathered Fett helmet. Alright, so our next step is to go into the Star Wars room and go ahead and get this guy ready to go up on the wall. Alright, so we're at the Tatooine wall, and our plan is to go ahead and take down the Mandalorian Bounty Hunter book vault, which is right there, and we're going to go ahead and put up the crack sticker and then put up that new helmet. If this is first time viewing this wall, that is a quarter scale Hot Toys Fett with a 3.75 skiff, and I do have the Sarlacc pit. That's part of the 1/6 scale Hot Toys base. It's kind of climbing out of it, and then I have some Hasbro Gamorrean guards, which I really like these guards. I think they came out really good when I did the paint job on them, and just to give the overall look for the Tatooine wall. So I'm going to go ahead and get that stuff down, and we'll go ahead and get up the crack sticker. Alright, we have our Fett helmet in place. Now this isn't the most ideal display for the helmet, but it's better than nothing. And again, I just got this helmet because I wanted to work on it. It just has some cool kind of angles to it when you're looking at it like this. Kind of got the two different Fetts going, looks kind of cool. Again, it's just kind of like one inside the other. But I think it'll work. It's better than just keeping it in the box, I think. Now the crack sticker, that was a little difficult to get on, only because I have textured walls and you're really supposed to put them on flat surface walls. Go ahead and flip on the light. I'll probably just keep the light off. Again, the crack stickers on the textured walls take a little bit more work to get them to stick, but they will work. And there we go, 3D Deco Fett helmet. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. I do have the Royal Guards coming in hopefully by the end of this coming week, and we'll be doing a review on those. And I got a bunch of other stuff I'm working on with the Star Wars wall, and then that Fett room, Mandalorian. Maybe I can get up a video started with that as well. So I hope you guys are having a fantastic weekend, and I shall talk to you guys later.